Limit break. Let's go ham. Ending. Final chapter.
Ending.
Thoughts. Whispers. Arbiters of fate. Wreck on Nomura. Zack fair. Alive. Sephiroth. I'm done.
Yeah, so there was a lot to unpack with this. I like it right now, but then again, I have to see how they implement all of this. Like, basically, I'm torn. I'm so torn on it, man. I'm so torn on it.
Are you really torn on it?
I am, because it depends on how it plays out, you know? Like, I like what they've done now, but it all depends on how it plays out in the next game, you know?
They built up a good mystery, I feel, so I'm going to try and stay positive about it. So, the Whispers are anti-retcon ghosts, as people have called them. They're basically the souls of old fans. They're basically member berries from South Park. You remember them?
Yeah!
You remember member berries?
You know what? You're right. That is a great analogy.
Remember when Cloud went on the second bow mission? I remember.
Yeah, I remember.
Remember when Hojo told Cloud that he's not really a member of Soldier in the original? I remember.
That's such a good
Remember
way of
when
looking at it.
Cloud brushed his teeth in the original with his right hand? I remember. Makes it funnier that they just stop Cloud from doing the most, like, mundane of things. Like, I don't know, Cloud puts on, like, a left slipper or some shit.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, because every time they showed up, it was literally to stop a retcon from happening.
Yeah, I'm surprised the Whispers didn't show up during the Honeybee Inn because of that one hot top scene that didn't appear.
Yeah,
They just carry a bunch of half-naked dudes in speedos across the sky and just drop them inside the bath.
And drop the hot top on top.
Yeah.
God, that would have been oh man, that would have been amazing if they had done that.
The Whispers get involved with like the most mundane of shit, like Wall Market stuff.
It's so meta though, isn't it?
It's
like,
the most meta thing you can think of.
It's so meta because it's like acknowledging that the first game, like the original, existed. For one thing, like it basically adds lore to like the world of like the Final Fantasy VII in an insane way. Really.
Their existence, what it means to me is that separate timelines, possibly even the bloody multiverse in FF7.
Yeah, no. I think that's it, because, like, that ending, man, like, fucking Zack survives.
Zack lives. I mean, from what I gathered from that series is that he lives possibly in another timeline. I don't know if it's the current one.
I don't think it's the same timeline that they're in, but I definitely think he's living in another timeline. And what the final boss was when they like took down the Whispers was basically, in a weird way, Nomura's statement on that final boss is a massive, yo, fuck you, we want to make we can change the script if we want. You like
it's a good personification of it.
Yeah, like it really is, isn't it? It's like, nah, we go in our own way, like we're destroying. You just killed the order of the game right there. The final boss was like the old way of playing Final Fantasy VII in a weird way, like keeping all the lore.
Cloud's visions are basically scenes that have already happened in the franchise. Like, straight up, the materia falling onto the ground when he sees Aerith's death.
Yeah.
Straight up, when she dies, that's the moment in the original.
Yeah, it really is. Like that
the meteor going to Omega. They straight up showed the original opening scene from Advent Children where Red and his kids are walking about.
Yeah.
Oh, that was legit cut, ripped right from the film. I saw that and my mind fucking imploded.
I was so like thrown back by all of it when I was fighting. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
It happened during the fight as well. I was like, whoa, don't give me that now.
Yeah, I can't concentrate. I don't know what's happening. Oh my god. But you know what? You are right. That is a really good personification. It's the old fans literally trying to keep the game the same as it was.
The old fans merged together and fused to make the final form, which is basically giant ass Nomura in a cloak. Because let's face it, Sephiroth is basically Nomura. Sephiroth seems to have an awareness of everything that's happened throughout the franchise. Also, Ben, the fact that he has the wing is led me to believe that it's Advent Children Sephiroth.
Yeah, I was shocked that they gave him the wing. Like, I was like, they're fully going all out, aren't they, on this fight? Like,
not once in the original does he ever get the wing, until he's safe as Sephiroth, his final form in the original FF7.
Yeah,
but he only has the wing in Kingdom Hearts and Advent Children.
Yeah,
he's got the wing in the remake. That has major implications.
I mean, Joe, crazy theory, man. Like, it's not really crazy anymore, though, is it? This
literally, they made it so any theory could possibly hold weight.
I mean,
so
technically, Final Fantasy VII Remake is technically a sequel to Final Fantasy VII.
Rewrite / remake.
Yeah.
/ retelling / a lot of things. / a lot of things.
Like, my original theory was that the Cloud that was seeing, like, because of the whole timeline thing we got going on now, I was thinking that when he saw the flash, originally I was thinking the memories of OG Cloud were leaking into this Cloud. I was like, he's getting, like, I thought the two Clouds were going to combine together or something. Like,
that does hold weight, though. That does hold weight.
What?
That does hold weight.
Yeah, when he saw the flashes of Aerith in the, like, in the church, and shit, I was like, could OG Cloud be leaking into Remake Cloud? Like, is that what the fuck he's seen glimpse of?
Now,
is that like
in that church scene? I thought it was due to Aerith's influence alone, because Aerith in Remake seems to also know everything, or has like an acute awareness of the franchise as a whole, like Sephiroth as well, because, well, for starters, when you first see her, she's worn off the ghost of Whispers, and then she touches Cloud for the first time. That's how he can see the ghosts all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And there's also, and Red 13 as well knows about the Whispers and what they do. And there's a bit when they meet Red for the first time, and she says she's going to tame him. She literally rests her hand, all contact on his head, and leaves it there for a very long while. You see like the static and the fuzz. Yeah. So that's led me to believe that now maybe even Red 13 is aware. Because Aerith seems to have passed that on to him. I don't know if that's true or not, but he straight up knows what they are. In fact, he's the one who names them Whispers.
Yeah.
So
in the
is
original,
he now aware?
I mean, in the original game, Red had a very big purpose. If you remember, like the whole Cosmo Canyon shit, and like where he came from, like it's a super important place in like the original OG Final Fantasy VII. Yeah.
I thought it was just because like Aerith is a Cetra or the Ancients, so she can hear the voices, but it seems to be a lot.
She can
more
hear the old fans crying out in pain.
How
the game has changed.
What I want to know is what I want to know is that how did the Whispers manifest in the first place? When you assess them, it basically says that they appear if you try and defy fate.
Yeah, they're arbiters of fate.
Did they appear just because the remake was just deviating a tiny little bit from the remake? Was that how they were born? Did Sephiroth make them come? Because when he beats Sephiroth in his final fight, he splits up into like loads of Whispers. So obviously that probably wasn't the real.
It wasn't Sephiroth.
No, it wasn't. Yeah,
so
just like when he disguises himself as the Kate dudes. Well, when they show up, especially when President Shinra gets involved in that one scene.
Yeah, so that might be how they get out of like the whole like blowing their load sort of thing. Because technically, you didn't fight Sephiroth.
Yeah, but they're still showing him. They're still showing you his appearance, his looks, his mannerisms. They're all there.
Yeah.
It's basically Doombot Sephiroth.
Yeah.
Sephiroth, pretty much.
Sephiroth, yeah.
But it explains why they couldn't. It explains why they had to show him, because in order to get this weird and wacky fate ending going, they had to implement this Sephiroth who seems to be born from all the timelines. I think or feel.
I think so too, because God, Joe, do you remember after you beat him and then the scene with the fucking sword and when they're fighting
in the Apex.
Yeah.
Inside the creation, the void of creation, or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, like that's like serious endgame shit stuff going on right there. Like,
oh, that reminded me of a Milo universe in SMT so fucking much. There's just a fact there's a notion of a multiverse going on is making me think. It reminds me of that series a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's like
it's insane. Like, what plans do they have now that they've established that time travel, timelines? It's now
timelines. I don't know about time
parallel
travel.
Universes. They seem to just be a thing now.
It's never been a thing in Final Fantasy VII though, which is
only
nuts.
Until Remake. Yeah, Remake's the only one that's brought that up.
Nomura's literally gone and said, "Yo, I love like time travel and all these like crazy elements. Let's add it to Final Fantasy to make it even more complicated."
It always makes me grimace when anyone mentions time travel in any game ever.
It's not time travel though, is it?
It's like universes, timeline shenanigans, that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like. Yeah, because the arbiters of they literally are the old fans. It's nuts to think of it that way, but that's what it feels like. For example, the whole thing with Barrett getting stabbed. Oh man, Barrett getting stabbed the way that Aerith should have died.
No, Barrett doesn't die here. No,
Barrett can't get Aerith's death.
What's going on here? No.
It's so funny though. It's like he died the exact same way Aerith's meant to die.
It fucks with you a little bit. It fucks with me as well, because even I was like, no, that's not what happens. And then the whispers come. It almost feels like a piss take sometimes. Like, I don't know whether it's a statement or it's a plot point, but it definitely has that meta feeling.
They can't do like they have to carry this forward now. What they've set in motion, they can't just skip it and like pretend that it's not there. They've purposely done this. Like, they didn't have to do this.
It's got big repercussions as well, just because characters survive. Biggs lives.
Biggs wait.
It's implied that Jessie. It's not confirmed, but it's implied that she may have survived. It basically shows her gloves on the table. Yeah, I don't know if that's a memento or if that's a full-on clue that she might be in the same room as Biggs in another bed.
But was it, okay, you know when it was showing all of them, how do we know which timeline it was showing them in? We don't now.
I assume that's the new freedom timeline that they've made now.
You gotta think, you gotta think about it. It's like, as in different, it's like Zelda, really.
The endless possibility timeline that Remake has seemed to have gone to.
So do you think the next game, like, is gonna break into like different timelines? Like, there's gonna be parts where you play as Zack in one timeline.
I don't know. I honestly think though that they need to keep scenes from the original though. They can still deviate. That's fine.
Yeah,
but they need to keep the locales and.
They definitely are planning.
And certain big events can still happen, but they. Oh, it's just. Just like the game itself states, it's a terrible, scary freedom that they've got now. Ben, how do you feel about the whispers as a concept? Do you feel like they could have been implemented, or do you think they could have just gone through with all of this like changes in the remake without having the whispers as like an actual force to implement these changes in the remake? Because a lot of the times I thought, well, I mean, if you want to rewrite them, just do it. You don't have to like personify them as weird ass ghosts.
Yeah, part of me's like.
But I suppose if they want to, I suppose they want to personify it, don't they? You know, make it into a boss, really hammer it in that. Yeah, this is going to be very different.
Yeah,
a different remake. rewrites,
I think it
retelling.
was more, yeah, like part of me thinks it was just a more of fucking with the audience and sending a message that this isn't going to play out the same way that you guys remember it to.
Oh, does he have to though?
I don't know.
He's a trickster. I don't know how I feel about being bamboozled that hard, to be honest. I mean,
Like,
yeah, it works, but it also makes me think, like, was that also a necessity in the way that it was done? Do you know what I mean?
Like, is it thought
Makes you
out
think.
properly? Is it like proper thought out? Because
Yeah.
like, I have to wonder, like, does that mean like, okay, but since they fucking took the piss out of Aerith's death with Barrett getting killed in Aerith's death,
I don't think that was a direct piss take. I think it was just because it wasn't directly Aerith's death. He didn't like plunge from the sky and Barrett wasn't under a waterfall praying to the planet or anything like that. No, it wasn't. It was in front.
Oh, was it in front?
It was right in front. It was just a full-on stab.
Okay. But it was still like a callback to it, like in a weird way.
If anything, President Shinra's death is more of a callback to it, and that legit happened in the original too.
Yeah. Does that makes me wonder: is Aerith gonna live now? Like, are we on a timeline where Aerith doesn't die now?
I feel
like that.
I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like Aerith has to die.
She has to. You know what I think they're gonna do though, Joe, man. You know what? I don't think we're gonna get the same death. I don't think they're gonna do the same.
She has to die though. That poignancy has to stay. It's gotta.
She will die, but I don't think she's gonna die in the same way we all think she's gonna die. Because the fact that they foreshadowed the OG scene a lot makes me think that they're playing with it. They're not going to play it out the same way it did in the original.
They're teasing a lot of possibilities that could happen, but I feel at the end of the day that you still need to have the Aerith death because that's iconic.
Yeah, they got to kill her.
It's infamously iconic. It's one of the most.
You can't.
I don't know how the people who didn't play the original avoided that spoiler because that's one of the biggest spoilers of video game history.
Yeah.
The death of Aerith. You need to keep that
there with, like,
because that's what set the tone for the rest of the game after that. As long as you forget about Cloud snowboarding down a mountain after that, but you get you get what I mean.
I just forgot about that.
I know. You get what I mean.
Yeah. It has to happen. She's got to die. Like if she doesn't die, that's just balmy, and that wouldn't make sense in the story. Where would you go? That would be like a completely different story now.
You can deviate from that, but I feel that's too far of a deviation. Like, this is already far enough because this sets a stage. It hasn't directly. I mean, we don't know if it's directly changed it completely, but it's more for speculation more than anything. It hasn't directly not sealed Aerith's fate. We don't know yet with Aerith. Also, I'll go on, Ben.
How are you gonna explain all this though? Like it's balmy. Like
don't know.
There's so many timelines. There's 3 timelines, I think, maybe
it's
3
scary.
or 2.
The game is very good at making it's meta in a sense that everything about the ending makes you feel a certain something about the ending, whether it's. Oh no, they can't have changed it. That they personify that with the whispers. And then there's also the whole, oh, this is good, but also I'm a bit scared of where it's gonna go. They show that with Aerith. That's exactly how Aerith feels about the future.
Yeah.
Like, she even to the bit when she says, I miss it, and I miss the steel sky. Which is obviously like reference to Midgar, I assume. And how that was the way it was supposed to be. Just a 6-hour adventure in Midgar, then back out into the main game, which is FF7. But no, it's
it's so like, and she's all clued in on everything, and it's like, what are you doing?
It feels like it. The fact that she even squares up to Sephiroth and says you're wrong, everything about you is wrong. Sephiroth is trying to protect the planet, but he's also the biggest threat to the planet at the same time. And so Sephiroth himself, his goal confuses me a little bit. They've been very clever with his motivations here. His big motive so far is his borderline obsessive focus on Cloud.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad in Advent Children. Because again, this is what forces me to believe that that's Advent Children Sephiroth. Because he's got the wing, and he has the same mannerisms, the same obsessive nature as he does with Cloud and in Advent Children, like he does here in the remake.
But do you think that Sephiroth? Well, we know that Sephiroth wasn't really like the Sephiroth. Like, we haven't really met the Sephiroth yet of
like
this game.
OG Sephiroth you're referring to.
Yeah, we haven't met OG Sephiroth yet.
Yeah, because you don't in the original either.
No, but we met this one.
Yeah,
but this one's gone now. Like, this one was just the arbiter of fate, I guess. Like,
I mean, I don't know. I think he's still existing somewhere, because it seems to be like he's kind of sort of baited Cloud and everyone to fight for the new future, because that also seems to be what Sephiroth's goal is as well.
Yeah,
because he even asked Cloud to join him.
Yeah.
Before they had the sword fight, and Cloud's like, "No, you're evil. I'm not going to join you because you're a bad guy."
But do you think he was asking him to join him in the sense that join me, stay on the same timeline, don't correct this game any further?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't. It's just very hard because
it's so weird. It's so meta. It's like we're talking like the
he was kind of a part of the Whispers, but then he's kind of not. But he is. But he's not. I don't know. It's a bit confusing.
I think he was part of. Well, I think this Sephiroth was part of the Whispers. I do think the thing that took the Sephiroth that took Genova, whatever, that was actually the
Real
original Sephiroth.
It was a cloaked dude, wasn't it? Falling down from the Shinra building who took Genova. But it had Sephiroth's face, so
I think that might have been Sephiroth.
Maybe. We
don't get to see his face very well, so it's like,
it's implied. I thought it was Sephiroth when I saw the face.
Yeah, I think it might have been him because that's what he did in the original. He took Genova building, trailed out.
And also,
so, I don't know.
What's this 7 seconds malarkey? A lot of people have compared this to literally the time it takes for Sephiroth to plunge his sword into Aerith.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a coincidence or if that's actually like a legit plot point they're gonna go for, but like, the 7 seconds thing when he whispers it and Cloud's in, he's like, what will you do with it? 7 seconds until the end. Like, what?
I don't know what that meant. I'm assuming it was to Aerith, but I
assume it's to Aerith because not only that, when he says that, they're literally playing a reprise of the ancient city where Aerith dies. She dies there in that city.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is I think that was to do with that. But then the fact that okay, Joe, that makes me worry, right? Because the fact that he's saying like, 7 seconds, what will you do with it? Like, it's giving him a clue that shit is gonna happen there. Like, I don't know if it's just foreshadowing or like
Cloud's had the visions, hasn't he?
Oh man, I hope they don't change it. I want them to die. I mean, I don't care if they change Aerith's death. I just hope she dies. Like, I don't want her to live.
Yeah, as horrible as it sounds, you need to keep the poignancy of Aerith's death because that's a big thing. That's massive. You can't really take that away from something that's titled FF7 Remake.
And it's gonna hurt so much more when she dies in this because we got to spend so much more time with her.
It's the best rendition of Aerith as well.
Yeah.
So that's sad when she's gonna bite it if she bites it.
Oh, please do, because there's no because that's also a big when Aerith dies. Do you remember Cloud goes into? Ooh, can I talk about this?
Yeah, you can, because this is full spoilers, mate. Go for it.
Yeah. Cloud goes into a fucking breakdown. Like,
he's wheelchair bound, coma.
Yeah, he goes into like a full-on breakdown and gets in a wheelchair and shit.
Wheelchair Cloud for Smash, yeah.
They've got to keep that shit, because that's where he's like, that's
Comatose
where he
Cloud.
gets a massive character moment as well.
Yeah,
to, like,
Tifa goes in.
Switch.
But then, is that even going to be a thing? Because in another timeline, Zack lives. And his death is a major part of Cloud's character and his identity as a whole. Like, Zack is what makes Cloud Cloud. So the fact that he's fucking alive, implied to be somewhere in another timeline, is absolutely mind-blowing. That's the most ballsiest fucking thing I've ever seen anyone do to, like,
And
someone as
the way they
iconic
did
as a
it
character as
well.
Cloud.
The way they made him live as they showed him lying down like where he dies in
Crisis Core.
Yeah, and then he just gets back up and you're like, what?
Yeah. Another reason that leads me to believe that's another timeline is the part when a poster of Stamp, the dog, the Shinra dog,
Yeah,
it's a different dog.
I have to.
It's a different breed of dog.
I need to go back and look at that.
The Stamp in Remake is a hound, and the Stamp that flies by and has a very obvious boom noise and when it flies by the screen is a terrier.
Also, that
seems like a bit of a wham moment.
Yeah, that was like, okay, I didn't notice that, but okay, that's interesting.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that is interesting.
So are these timelines gonna converge? What was the point of showing that Zack Fair is alive in another timeline? Is it just to enforce the fact that somewhere in a different parallel universe that Zack lives? Or is it going to converge and somehow be a thing in this new Freedom Remake timeline?
It's got to converge. Because can I tell you one other weird thing? What was that with the mid? You know, at the very end, Midgar like gets enveloped in light. It felt like it teleported. Like,
I think it was just the whispers disappearing.
Oh, it looked like it like teleported into like another timeline or something.
Nah, because Zack and Cloud head towards Midgar in the final scenes while they pass Aerith. And speaking of that scene, Aerith is 100% aware that Zack is still alive somewhere.
Yeah.
That last scene for the credits when their visions just pass each other slowly. I got shivers during that bit. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, I think that's cluing you in on the two timelines right there. That was like, yeah, that's like the two timelines. This one's there and this one's there. They're gonna play with that. They're gonna play hard with that in the part two. I feel like they've got to.
Also, the side characters. You see Shinra and the characters like getting ready for it, don't you? Like they all stand in a row in the boardroom in the office. Like they're probably gonna replay their roles like they did in part two. When you get to the outside part of FF7 in the original.
Yeah.
But like Rufus can see the whispers.
Wait, what?
When Rufus and Senga they walk down into the new office and they make Rufus into the president. Rufus sees all the whispers and he's like, "What is this?" And Senga's like, "What is there something wrong, sir? I don't get it. Why? What's wrong?" And Rufus is looking around as if he can see the phantoms just float about along the building.
I forgot about that bit.
Yeah, so other characters, not just like the main party, other side characters have awareness of them too.
That's got to make me think that like they're definitely gonna do something with just the characters and the timelines and like. I have to wonder if they because their vision for Final Fantasy VII Remake seems extremely big now that I've noticed in this. Like
lofty as fuck.
It's huge.
This could crash or burn. I have to wonder
if it's actually going to be more than 3 games.
Or it could be the best thing ever.
Yeah, like...
or it could crash and burn. It's... I don't know.
Like, I feel like this could be more than 3 games. I feel like we could be looking at 4 or 5 games.
There's some crazy awareness needed to fully comprehend Nomura's mind of what he's planning. Another thing, Ben, by the way, this is kind of mind blowing. This was actually brought up by Maximilian Dude, who is probably one of the biggest FF7 fans out there on the internet right now. But when you assessed the what are they called, the Harbingers. The 3 Spectres you fought in the final fight. Yeah. Did you notice anything familiar about their log? One fights with a sword, one fights with a gun, one fights with bare hands.
Wait, they weren't Knights of the Round, were they?
Nah, no. But who else fights with a gun, a sword, and bare hands?
Gun, sword. Bare hands. Fuck. I'm drawing a blank.
No one?
Oh, who is it? God, no, tell
I
me.
honestly thought you were going to say Cloud, Tifa, and Barrett, honestly.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Like,
This-
I thought you meant all together, like a gun, sword, hands. Like, what?
No. Each one has a different weapon, don't they?
Right, yeah.
Red one's got a sword, blue one's got fists, yellow one's got a gun.
God, do you think they were the OG Cloud, Tifa, and Barrett?
Oh. Now, this is what you would think at first, but you read that log, it says they come from a certain other timeline in the future. Now, Benjamin, how much do you remember of Advent Children?
Oh no, not much, man. It's been ages since I watched Advent Children. Honestly.
You guys remember the? Did you remember the different? Oh, what are they called again? The fragments of Sephiroth, who were the bad guys.
Yeah, they had a lot of weird shit in that film. Yeah, go on.
Kadaj, Loz, and Yazoo, I think they were called.
Yeah.
Kadaj uses a sword. Loz uses his fists. Yazoo uses a gun. Also, what else do they do in the fight? They turn into Bahamut.
Oh my
What else
God.
happens in Advent Children?
They turn into Bahamut. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So-
That's
so
some
they
next
had-
level shit, dude.
They had some Advent Children shit in there as well with that.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't even clock with me while I was
Now
like,
that's some insane Nomura fuckery.
mate, he's trying to make everything canon, and I don't know if that's a good idea.
Well,
Like,
the thing is, right, they say it's a bad future. And when you think about the end of Advent Children, it is bad because the first scene is Red 13 and his kids are alive, but all the humans are gone.
yeah.
They're gone, man. So that might be the bad future that they might be referring to. Make it right, make it better. Tifa goes, this can't be the future we're fighting for. But it's implied that the OG timeline, FF7, is kind of shit for the heroes.
Yeah.
Because at the end of Advent Children, Cloud's come to terms with Aerith's death. Now he's got his mates and yada yada yada, friendship and all that. But only Red 13 lives.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
God, it's been so long since I've seen Advent Children. I might actually rewatch it.
I need to rewatch it again because there's a lot of things to digest.
It's so I've never like. It was one of those films when it came out. I was like super excited for it, and then when I watched it, I was like, "That's okay." Like,
it
I
wasn't
didn't think
wasn't the greatest of films, to be honest.
No, but I do remember the church fight with Tifa, and that was really good.
Yeah, it was a cinematic marvel. It was cool seeing it in action. But
maybe
Loz, and
all
Yazoo are the
of it.
fucking Harbingers you fight. And it's very heavily implied. They even merge and turn to Bahamut.
Yeah,
And they straight up summon Bahamut in Advent Children as well. The fact they got a gun, a sword, and fists.
Yeah.
From a broken future timeline, it's
interesting.
It's pretty insane. It's very insane.
Do you think? So basically, do you think the remake moniker is literally not as in? What if it's not?
The rewrite moniker, more like.
Yeah. Do you think?
But it's also a remake as well, kind of, sort of. I think.
Well, maybe. What if it's literal? What if it means remake, as in remake the world?
Yeah, it makes sense. That's Barbie enough. That would make sense. You know what Nomura's like with his dumb titles.
Doesn't it? What if it's like a literal meaning? What if we all just thought, Final Fantasy remake? Why are you calling it remake?
Birth by Sleep.
Oh, because we're remaking the world. Like
Dream Drop Distance.
Which is sneaky because that made people think that this was going to be an actual remake, but it's a literal sense of remake, as in we're rewriting everything.
It's so balmy. So, do you think Wedge lived? The last time you see him, he gets carried off by whispers. It fades to black, and he goes, "At least say that I did something right." It's like, what does that mean? Did he die or what?
I don't know. It's so confusing. I
think he's alive.
I wouldn't think he's still alive.
I think he's alive. It's an off-screen fade to black death, and the fact that one of them survived when they should have been dead in the original, that implies that he may still be alive, as well as maybe Jesse.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know how I feel about Jesse. If Jesse's still alive in a remake, I don't know. Like,
yeah, it does kind of lose the edge of the original a little bit. The fact that they're retconning all of this.
If that is the case, if she is still alive, I don't know. I'm not so sure about Jessie being alive still, to be honest.
I just hope they keep the Aerith death. They need to. As bad as it sounds, they need to.
They do. They need to keep it.
It'll be so limp if she survives.
But do they need? Well, okay, Joe. But do they need to keep it if this is no longer gonna be the original Final Fantasy VII?
Yes, yes, they do. Yes, they fucking do.
What if this is all about changing the wrongs of the past?
No.
Oh my god!
There needs to be drama and conflict still. And what is more big of a drama and conflict than having the cute flower girl get fucking stabbed by a pretty boy with a long sword?
What if the next game's literally about undoing everything from Final Fantasy VII?
Oh man!
What if this is like a sequel?
They need to keep calling it Final Fantasy Remake 2 or Part Episode 2 because, like, if they called it something like FF7 Rewrite, like straight up, yo, this is deviating, that completely spoils the first game in the title.
Yeah, it's true.
So that won't be good for marketing, that's for sure.
No, you gotta carry on calling it Remake. Do you even call it Remake or did you call it Final Fantasy 7 2? Like, at that point, did you call it Remake?
Oh, fucking, don't you dare make that comparison.
Like...
Don't you dare. Oh, don't say that.
I mean,
all of the twos have been not so great in the FF game.
Oh.
And yeah, I said that about 10. Fucking don't at me.
Well, I wasn't. 10-2 was alright. It had a good battle system.
Don't talk about my games right now. Fucking.
Alright, anyway,
fucking, FF7-2 would be mind blowing. But I can see them. I can also see them implementing it too.
I don't know. Well, these kind of was FF7 2 in my eyes, to be honest. The way they've gone with the story.
All this insane shit is going on, and somewhere in the world, Yuffie is just stealing someone's wallet.
Oh my god, that's
or this
so funny.
Balmy shit happens. Yuffie is just stealing someone's fucking pen
out there
or some
in a little
shit.
Village. In a little ninja village.
Sits just swearing at someone, drinking tea.
Where is my damn?
Vincent's just asleep in a coffin, doing fuck all.
Oh my god, that's going to be interesting. How do they bring in Dirge of Cerberus to all this?
I don't think they are. Because Dirge of Cerberus was not including at all. I think Square just want to forget about that game entirely.
It sounds like it.
There was absolutely nothing to that, even like tease.
They didn't even hint at Vincent.
They didn't even hint at Vincent, man. Like,
they hinted at Kate Sif, but not Vincent.
Kate Sif. Is Vincent even going to be in the game? Is Yuffie? Are the optional characters going to be in the game?
He will be when you go back.
I'm going nuts.
Nah.
I'm going nuts. I'm going a bit nuts. But what if?
He's got to be.
But what if? Unknown future, man. Unknown future.
Oh my god, anything can go. Anything can go. Even Cloud snowboarding down a mountain.
The Whispers with it. We don't with it. No one wills anything because no one knows what the fuck's gonna happen anymore.
Yeah, because the old fans are dead. We killed them.
They're dead. All the boomers have been slaughtered.
Yeah, literally.
Gen Z is now.
The new Final Fantasy is
Gamers
here now.
rise up.
Oh man,
fucking
I have to wonder how old. Like, guys, let me know in the comments how you all felt. Like, as an old Final Fantasy fan, how did you feel about this? Because, like, I've got to admit, some people probably did not take this well at all.
I didn't at first. I didn't at all. I wanted my remake. But then it grew on me after a while, and it's like, but the original was still there, and the remake was still really awesome that they got us, and it was still really cool. They brought in from the original and expanded all the good stuff. I love the entire game. The ending was the only thing I was a bit miffed on, but now that I've had more time to think and deal and comprehend, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to seeing what they come up with in the future.
I'm hesitant. I'm just scared because it's Nomura, really. Like, I know he's
prone to making things a little bit too
over.
No, I know. I've got the same fear as you do. Because he's already taken Kingdom Hearts one step too far years ago.
And oh god, don't even go there. Don't go there. Kingdom Hearts like a whole new.
Oh fuck! I don't even want.
Like he just does these things. But this is why I love and hate Nomura. I don't hate, but I love and dislike Nomura. Like, part of me thinks he's a genius, and then part of me thinks he's just batshit insane. And
part of me thinks he needs to be put on a leash sometimes. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Like your dog starts like your dog on your leash starts like barking at another dog, and you're like, oh, that's cool. Go see the dog. And when your dog starts barking at like, oh no, a fucking lion, and it's like, whoa, boy, slow down, don't go for that one. You don't just like.
Especially
that's
like,
the worst analogy ever, but yeah.
Yeah, but what, you call Nomura a dog?
No, so I've already fucked it up, but you get the idea.
Don't bite more than you can chew.
Leashonology. Dog leashonologies.
I can't believe you compare Nomura to a dog. I
don't mean it in that sense, but yeah, fucking word.
Yeah, because Nomura tends to do wacky shit. Like even like all these games have had like things to do with not cosmic, but like
kind of.
Let's just say kind of.
Genova's from space.
I mean, cosmic. I guess cosmic.
Genova's a literal alien.
Yeah, that's true. But like, I just mean like all more like stuff has always had to do with like insane plot points that just blow your mind. But sometimes after like sometimes he didn't stick the landing. Yeah,
they are playing with fire.
They are heavily playing with fire, and like the other thing is like when they said there was an interview very shortly ago where someone asked like one of the creators of Final Fantasy VII, are you gonna keep the game like the rest of the 7 story the same? And they didn't really answer it like in a clear manner.
Japanese laughing.
They didn't really answer it in a clear manner. They were just like, look forward to like going forward with key moments and stuff. And it was like,
I mean, they weren't lying technically. They have kept key moments.
Yeah. Yeah, they've kept key moments. But they didn't really say they're going to keep the story the same, no. It didn't really.
Pussyfooting, like yes. Lying, maybe not so much. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I really, it's so confusing. Just all the changes are they're so big now. They could be huge for the rest going forward. Like
so much is just up in the air right now.
What in the next game you play like half the game in the OG timeline and half the game in like the next, like the remake timeline.
I don't know how I'd feel about that. I honestly wouldn't mind having the same formula that we got with this remake, where you revisit the locales, you do the same scenes, but there are certain changes here and there.
But but now they've opened up the whole timeline. People are gonna want. Like,
I know that's my wish personally though. Like I feel like there still needs to be the remake, but they could still rewrite certain things. Like, and I feel like I feel like they could basically do what Remake did just without the whispers.
Yeah,
that makes any sense.
Yeah, they could do, but
you can still rewrite shit. You can still take liberties. You've established that in.
Well, they can now, can't they?
Yeah, you've established that in episode 1. Like, I don't think it should be a brand new, different adventure. I don't know how I'd feel about that. I think it should be the same one from the original, but with like lots of changes.
Yeah,
and I'd honestly be content with that because honestly, that's what this game here has kind of elaborated for me and has alluded to. For me personally, I don't know about anyone else, but that's how I feel.
I kind of agree. I just want them to like expand stuff. Like, oh my god, I can't wait until you go to the Golden Saucer.
That's going to be like 10 hours worth of content, maybe more. Chocobo breeding is going to absolutely rinse everyone's time, just like in the original. Fucking hell.
Oh, like you know they're gonna like. Oh man, seeing that place in a remade, like reimagined style. Oh my god, that place is gonna be amazing.
I'm excited. Yeah, no, I'm
There's so many
gonna
cool
keep my
places.
faith that the next one's gonna be pretty awesome.
It's definitely gonna be on the PS5 as well.
Oh,
there ain't no
100%.
question. It's not gonna be on the PS4.
Yeah, like five years of development time probably as well for it.
I don't know. It's got to be open world, isn't it? I guess. Unless not, I don't know.
I mean, this one was kind of, sort of, a little bit, not really.
No, this was really linear. This wasn't really open world. Like,
the only instance I'm thinking about is when you go back and forth during like the side missions, but that's kind of it, really.
Yeah, like I'm talking about like world mappy because now we're on the world map technically.
Yeah, they could do it. Other games are still doing open world. FF7 could hopefully do it as well.
I don't know how you go about remaking an old school world map and planting it with loads of stuff. Do you go the Breath of the Wild way? Like, how do you do that? Like,
do you know how I feel? I definitely feel that the very first, probably tutorial level is 100% going to be the Nibelheim flashback. That's going to be the first level.
Oh, for sure.
That's going to be the bombing mission of part 2.
Yeah,
an Nibelheim incident.
I could see them doing that.
Yeah.
That's almost like it's set up for it, really, isn't it?
Elaborate to the newbies on who the fuck Sephiroth actually is, because you're not gonna know who the hell he is if you ain't played the original and playing this remake.
Yeah.
You don't know shit about Sephiroth.
I could see them doing that in the beginnings of flashback. I totally could see that happening. The way they're gonna work that in.
That's kind of sort of like a negative about Sephiroth himself and the way he's implemented in this game, because he's everywhere and he's nowhere to be found in the Midgar parts of FF7. You only hear his name and what he's kind of all about, and that's pretty much it in the Midgar section of the original. Whereas here, he's in visions, he's goading Cloud, he's speaking to you.
He's in your bedroom.
He's in your ear, he's pinned you against the floor.
Man,
he does that as well in the game, so...
Yeah.
very flirtatious to Sephiroth.
To an extent that may be a detriment. Who knows?
Maybe,
Depends how people feel about it.
It did kind of kill the mystery a bit in the Shinra building, where you see the trail of blood and the Genova business and all that, and you don't find Shinra with the sword stuck in him. You actually have like a little hoedown with him first.
Yeah, it did, but like. There was no way around that now, was there? Like, what was the point of it? What was
Final
the point
Fantasy VII, play the original.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII, I hope you play the original.
Yeah.
If anything, that's clever as well. That's a clever marketing. That's clever marketing because it gets people to buy the original too.
Honestly,
because that's part of it. Yeah, that's part of the story. That's part of how you need to understand a remake. You need to have understand of what happens, what transpires in the original. That's a legit clever marketing tactic to go get the original, which is on every single platform out there right now. So
even
it's not
Twitch.
Exactly hard to get.
Yeah, even on Switch.
Go out there and spend.
Like honestly, it worked. If you think about it, people are gonna go play the original. People are gonna wanna watch Advent Children now.
Yeah.
Like there's like hints to it.
It's
in
all
this
a clever
game.
marketing scheme.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Nomura! Man, you made everything relevant.
Genius. Give us cash. Go play the original. Go watch Advent Children. Doja Cerberus, what's that? That's only on PS2 and no one cares about the PS2 anymore, so fuck that game. But you can certainly get Advent Children and the original game wherever you want, baby. It's all there for you. So go and spend and watch so you can understand what the fuck is happening in this game, because you certainly will not do if you haven't.
Oh no, now that you said that, man, I really hope he didn't do that whole story.
No way. Nomura's gotten. I'd like to think he's got an end game going on, but there's a method to his madness. He's insane. Really he's a nutter, but there's a method to it. It makes me fear for the World Ends Review as well, because Nomura is also. Nomura didn't spearhead the writing there, did he? He was just a designer. So does that mean Tweery's safe? I hope Tweery's safe.
He's an advocate of the world. I think he helped. I think he did.
He did
more
the
than character
designs.
design.
Yeah, did the character design.
I'm not sure if he did more than character
I
design.
keep forgetting. Honestly, Nomura has just fucked my head so much. Whenever I sense his involvement in anything, I think, oh no,
scared.
this series is done for, man.
Does that mean we should be terrified of the World Ends With You anime because he's actually involved in it?
Yes. Yes, it does mean you should be afraid. You should be very afraid that he's working on it. So what do you guys think? Do you think Nomura should continue to keep on doing his wild and wacky Tom Bamboozle fuckery with everyone? Or do you think he should be kept on a leash?
Yeah, that's a good.
What do you guys reckon?
Question.
Also, what are your theories? We'd love to hear your theories on what the hell is going on with this.
Post your theories in the comments down below, please do. I want to hear
get involved.
Yeah, I really want to hear all your theories. My theory is that the Cloud. Yeah, I still actually believe that Cloud is the remake Cloud and the OG Cloud exist, and that the OG one is somehow memories are leaking into the remake Cloud.
I think at one point, Hojo is going to take advantage of the power of the Whispers, possibly, and Sephiroth, because you think about it, he's basically Sephiroth's dad. He created Sephiroth. Yeah. And the fact that there's a last scene where he's going nuts, he's laughing like a maniac, and he has awareness of the Wisp because they've touched him. They took him away. And being the scientist that Hojo is, maybe he'll find a way to kind of maybe get them to manifest again, possibly, or even even harness their power. Because he kind of goes nuts in his boss fight in original. Yeah. But what if they take that further in? What if they take that further beyond in like part 2 or even part 3? That's technically disc 3, I think, that part. Because Hojo is still a massive player in this. Yeah, he is. And being the clever mad scientist that he is, when he's not on the beach, living it up with all the babes like he does in the game, then he could be making efforts to maybe harness that. Maybe, who knows? Isn't that a bit weird though if you start thinking of the Whispers as like the OG fans, so Hojo's touching the OG fans? I mean, he'd find a way. Oh man, that's really weird. That's really strange. He'd find a way. Hojo always finds. Hojo's ruined everyone. Hojo's ruined everyone's life. What's stopping Nomura from making Hojo super meta and ruining our lives as well? That's actually a good point. You're right. That actually makes sense now that I think about it. That could work. Oh god, I can't believe that theory actually holds away. So many theories hold away just because the ambiguity of it all. Oh, that's the thing though. It's crazy, but it's also clever because it's been crafted to a point where any theory can maybe possibly go. Yeah. It's definitely intrigued me in a way that I'm definitely like excited for the next game. Yeah. I'm very excited. Here's hoping that the next game does not crash and burn with this foundation that has been made for it. Oh, it can't. No, let's hope the seams can hold. Yeah, let's just hope that he can like balance it all. You know, it's a big ask, man. He's really put his stamp on it. I'll say that. I get it. Yeah. Is that intentional? Yeah. Okay. Was it, or are you just starting out now? Maybe I am, maybe I ain't. Oh, fuck. Who knows? Oh, maybe fuck. I'm fucking ending this podcast, you piece of shit. But dude, my mind's been fucked up enough. We'll see you guys next time. See you on another timeline. I'll figure out a way to get some kind of music on here, because Remake music's getting hammered by Square Enix online. Maybe I'll do original. I'm sorry if it comes to that, but we'll see. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure you comment and have yourself a fantastic kazoo. Bye, everyone. Bye.